Hey, what's up, everybody? How's it going, all? We're just getting back into the swing of things. It's been a couple weeks. Been gone for 2 weeks and glad to be back. So, thanks, Niku, for. Did you guys catch him? That Dungeons and Dragons painting? I don't know how you guys do it. What's up, Sirius? Let's see who all's in the chat. Let's check it out. Oh, so if you guys follow on Twitter, we're gonna look at some patches again tonight. But we're gonna look at like video game style patches, specifically one game that I liked, will still like. I used to play quite often. What's up, Lewis? Yokai, sorry. Yep, I'm good at butchering usernames. I'm great at it. What's up, Frame? Very cool. Oh, so how was your guys' week? Did you have a good one? It seemed to we this week has already seemed to go by kind of fast. I mean, it's only Tuesday, so I guess we're still at the beginning of the week, but it feels like we got to Tuesday like right after Saturday, or at least I do. Oh man. Yeah. So before I start off on the stream, you guys make sure if you have anything you want me to look at while we're doing the live stream, feel free to tweet it at me on the old Twitter. And I like to bring stuff up on stream and look at it and check it out and see what you guys are up to. So if you want, like, if you want to do portfolio critiques or stuff you've been working on or just anything in general, we love sharing creative stuff around here. And is that a hamster behind me? No, it is not. It's a guinea pig. It's very close. I'll tell you about him in a minute. I kind of got stuck with him. So yeah. So and as we kind of work along in the and what we're gonna do tonight, I'm gonna do another kind of what do we call it? Like a follow along setup. So if you guys want to join in, I'm going to put some base sketches up that I'm going to work off of, and you guys can feel free to practice in Illustrator or show me up, which a lot of you guys do. I always end up asking you guys to like try something out, and everything you guys send at me is like way better than I can do. It's quite humbling and pretty cool. Quick story on the guinea pig. The guinea pig used to live in my daughter's room, and they ran out of space, so he got moved to my son's room, and they ran out of space, so guess where he ended up? So I got the guinea pig. His name is Oink. He is like 9 years old. He is a very old guinea pig. And he'll probably start hollering at some point tonight. He always does. So if you hear him, type in the chat. I want to see if you guys actually hear him. He gets kind of loud sometimes, but he's pretty funny. And he also he handles all of my administrative and business side of things. So, yep, he's the one in charge of sending out invoices and all the fun stuff. Yeah, we just give it to Oink. In fact, he's got a pile of paperwork back there he still owes me. So we got to whip him into shape. His name is Oink. Yep. So when we first got him, my daughters were maybe 1 or 2 when we first got him, and we asked the kids. We had 2 guinea pigs, and we asked the kids, what do you want to name them? And one of my sons said, "Well, what are they?" And I said, "Well, they're a guinea pig." Well, my daughter just heard pig, right? And so she said, "Oink, name it Oink," thinking it was like pig with a curly tail and whatnot. And then it just stuck. So it got named Oink. Cool, Lewis. Yeah, send it on over. Let me post it in the chat before I forget. And we will get going here. If I can even remember the link. I'm sorry about my super loud keyboard. But it's mechanical and it's fun. Nice nibbled corners by Oink. There you go. Yep. You can tell when there's bite marks taken out of it. Oh, man. All right. Well, let's see. Yeah, I haven't... What have you guys been doing? Catch me up on stuff. I think... Oh, did Shauna cover for me last Tuesday? I was out of town last Tuesday. And I was it Shauna? I don't recall. Last week was a bit of a blur. But I think you guys got some typography stuff I think you got like hand lettering, which is something I want to try on one of these streams coming up. We bounce all over the place. I need to find a nice like groove here that we can all get into. But yeah, so the I want to do some like hand lettering at some point and see if we can knock that out. Okay, so on the agenda tonight is raise your hand if you've ever played Medal of Honor, and I think it's specifically it was the I think it was called Warfighter. I think it was the second one they did, and I don't think they're continuing the franchise. It was kind of a bummer because I found it to be pretty fun. It's a fun game. But there was they had some very cool emblems in there that were like they look like military patches, and if you've ever seen them, they are pretty unique, and I've always liked them. I've got a few. If you back there on the wall, I've got 5 of the actual the patches that some shop along the way made them. But I'll bring them up on screen, and you guys can check them out. They're if you've ever played the game, I forget where they actually showed up in the game. It's been so long since I've played one of those, but they look like this stuff. So let me know in the chat if you ever came across these. They were from the... I don't remember if you got them, like what part of the game you got them in. I just remember seeing, I think it was which team you were with or something during the game. I don't know. It's been a while since that game's been out. But I always loved these designs, and I wanted to try one out. And I had so much fun streaming with you guys when we did the just the regular gaming emblem, when we did the skull, like sci-fi skull thing with the 2 sword looking things. And so I thought, let's revisit something like this. I've never tried my hand at it. I have a couple sketches that I did last night to see if I could even get somewhere in the ballpark. The cool thing about these is that they're one color. So the way they're drawn, though, is they very much look like that. Whatever the color they are has to be pretty bright or saturated compared to the background, because they're made to be against a darker background for the most part. But I wanted to try one of these. Yeah, the King one is really cool. Yeah, I don't remember when that... Does anybody remember when that game was out? Like, how many years ago? It's been a few years, at least. I don't even know if it was on the... It wasn't on the new generation consoles, so it was on last gen, and I think it was a PC thing. I don't play video games on PC. I'm not that coordinated. Hey, Swam Mead, who was here last Tuesday? Was it Shauna? Was Shauna during this time last Tuesday? I'm curious. I tried to catch it, but I got stuck in traffic, and long story short, it was miserable. But I missed the stream. I wanted to see. Philip, yes, they would look cool as sub badges. Yeah, so I wanted to look at these. These were the 4 in the game, and then they made actual patches of them. I've never been able to find the bear one. I wanted to get this bear one. The ones that I do have are this bottom row and the top left, the shark one, which is also very cool. I've seen these designs hijacked everywhere. I walked into a skateboard shop, and they had a whole box of just blank skateboards, and one caught my eye, and I realized, it was the which one was on it? It was the cowboy was on it. Like somebody had screen printed it on a bunch of blank skateboards. Like I don't think that's totally legal, but it was pretty cool to see it on a skateboard. But these patches these designs are extremely unique, and we're gonna try. I have a couple out. In fact, in a few minutes, I have Twitter set up to auto post the sketches to it. So once that hits, I will send out the link, and we can get going and try these out. So have you guys ever tried anything like this? Like just it's this kind of one single color patch style. You know what I forgot to look up? I wanted to see. Let me look up and see if I can find these in game. I want to figure out where they were used in, because I remember seeing them during like UI screens. I think it had to do with what team you were on, like what group of military soldiers or whatever it was called. and then, oh yeah, then trying some with a little bit of color added to it. So something like this too, where the crown is one color, and then just two solid colors. But yeah, it was pretty cool to see these in the game because they're modeled after, or not modeled, but inspired after real life military patches. We had a whole stream where we looked at patches. We looked more at like space patches for like missions and whatnot a few weeks back. And I know I've showed you guys that book I have where I think it's called something like "If I Tell You I Gotta Kill You" or something. But there are some very cool designs with patches, and I draw a lot of inspiration from them because they're usually just simple colors. There's usually just a handful of colors because you gotta turn all this stuff. You have to create it by thread, and so you can't do like blends and stuff or anything super crazy. So working in that type of rule set can get pretty challenging, but it's also a lot of fun. It's pretty cool to just try and do that. Well, let me put this out to anybody out there. If you guys can find some of the in-game screens that these were used on, post them up. We'll permit you in the chat because I'm curious where these were at. I don't remember where they showed up in the game. I'm looking through Google Images and not coming up with anything. But again, it's been a while. So the other thing I want to do was once we get a couple of these done, I came across a couple. I thought we might try our hands at like, I don't know, making like camouflage patterns or something. Because a few of these, when they put them against a different color, now this is kind of, I don't know, these are kind of muddy. But I feel like we could do something cool with a slight pattern or effect in the background behind the image we're working on, which could be pretty cool. This isn't a too terribly good example. See how it doesn't really work if the shapes itself are dark, right? It has to be. It only works when it's light because it's drawn to show the highlights. But I pulled up this sample because I like the camouflage behind it. We might be able to do something similar like that and make some camo, or like the digital camo might be cool. And just do this stuff for fun. Let's see, did I have, there's another one of different colorways. It looks like they made these things in like 3D rubber patches too, which would be pretty cool. I'll try to get my hands on some of those. But yeah, the red and black looks pretty awesome down here at the corner. So yeah, so we're gonna try some of those, and let me see. This is what she finished up on this. Oh, okay. Who was last Tuesday? Was Shauna? Cool. Let me open that up. I want to see what she did. Open. Oh, I do remember seeing this. Okay, very nice. Let me pull this over. So if you were here last Tuesday, Shauna, she drew this up. It's like an old school carnival style poster. It's kind of in between a movie poster. I don't know why my mind goes straight to like circus, like kind of like you'd see in a circus sideshow or hanging off the side of a tent or something. But that's pretty cool. So Shauna does all this hand lettering, which is really cool. She has some very unique like letter lockups here. I love what she did with the O and the B. That's pretty sharp, and like the E and the N. So this is why I want to play with one of these one time. So I don't know. We might have to dig into some hand lettering and see what we can do. We'll have to badger Shauna for some tips. All right, let me catch up in the chat again real quick and just see if I've missed anything. Lewis, you did send me something. All right, let me look. Let's see what we got. Yep, so send it to the old Twitter. I like to bring it up in here. That's cool, Lewis. Euphoria. I love geometric shapes, especially like what you got going here, which is like the outline style, which is very cool. Oh yeah, so there's that thing. So yeah, I love that. Very cool. Good job. I like the color palette too. I mean, it's got magenta in it, so I'm gonna like it regardless. No, I'm kidding. It's really cool. So yeah, so if you saw this little preview, you can kind of see the two sketches in the background that we're gonna go off of here. So let's see. It should be. Let's see if the sketches are live. I'm gonna post them. Yep, I'm gonna post them in the chat. And if you guys want to follow along and we're just gonna like pin tool it and then play with some background colors and try to really clean it up and make it look good, and see where it goes. We've got the two styles that we're gonna try out here. I wanted to do a bull type design, and just to show you kind of where, the inspiration here. The bull design, I tried to get kind of close to how they did the wolf down here, for the wolf pack one. And I was thinking, I don't remember what the number, what the meaning was with the number, like the one in both of these to the right. But I integrated the number, and I'm thinking I want to maybe try to change it to like a lucky number 7 or something, just for fun, just to see if we can change it up. I don't know what it'll look like, but maybe when we get there we can try it out. So we got the bull one on the left, and he's got the kind of, you ever seen a bull like get ready to charge, and he's like, I've seen pictures where it looks like he's almost got like steam and smoke coming out of his nose because it's cold and he's amped up, ready to kill whoever's wearing red. So we kind of integrated that. I left an empty space up top in case we want to work in some type. I know it says MOH for Medal of Honor on these, but maybe we can throw something up there. I was thinking we might be able to get Adobe in there, or if somebody has something else that we can work in there, let me know, and we'll see what can fit. Kind of like an arc across his in between his horns there might look kind of cool. And then the one on the right is influenced, or not influenced, but inspired by like Spartan armor. So I was looking up images of like their helmets and kind of slightly changing it up a little bit just to try to give it some, a little more action. Those details might be kind of tight, so we'll see what happens when we get there. And then I was looking at the old like breastplates, and they have, if you've seen the old like Greek or Roman breastplates, they have like where the collar is like this big, looks like a big bar almost, so it's kind of swinging down, and then the two which look like regular straps. The ones I saw were actually in the photo I saw, the straps were part of the armor. They weren't actually leather. They were just like sculpted to look like straps, which was very strange. But so we integrated kind of the straps on the side, and then there was an insignia on the chest, and then the thing in the upper left hand corner, I don't know what that is. We'll just make it and see if it fits. It might work as like a detail. But yeah, so this is in the Twitch chat. You can grab it. We're gonna load up good old Illustrator and drop it into there, and then let's see what we can do. I want to see what you guys have in mind. I want to see what you guys do as far as like colors and effects, and you can even do stuff like in this bottom one here where it's the background's essentially knocked out and it's put up against explosions and whatnot in the background, which I think was from the poster, the marketing campaign. I think I vaguely remember the poster being explosions going off around a soldier, and so I think that's where that's from, but I don't know for sure. So yeah, I do a lot of talking. What's up, Frame? I did some Googling, Evan, and I think the patches are actually on the clothes of the soldiers in the game. Okay, you're right. I wonder if it was used in the UI screens, and by UI I mean like the interface, like the in-between, cut scenes and whatnot. Maybe. I don't know. As my dad would say, I've slept a lot since then, so I don't remember. Lewis, yes, magenta does equal the best color. I see bat monkeys here. What's up, Perry? You made it. Right on. Good to see you. Okay, so let's get old Illustrator going. And if you don't have Illustrator, you can always download the free trial and just kind of follow along. I'm going to go ahead and save this out so I don't forget it and don't lose it. I'm just awesome at never saving until the last minute. What was Travis? Travis had a thing. The autosave feature was, to get to it, you just never save and then just go to close the program and it'll ask you. It's just like, it's a joke. So So I'm going to save this out. I've got just a regular Illustrator file open. I think it's at 1280 by 1280 pixels. So it's a smaller canvas, but again, the we don't have to worry about size so much because we're going to vector the base image, and so when you vector it, it retains all of those all those sharpness and curves and points and everything because there's no pixels involved. So yeah, we're going to vectorize this sucker and build it from there. So as I'm motoring along, you guys ask away. I'll try to go I'm not going to go fast. We're just going to kind of go easy and see where we get to. I'm going to keep some of these Medal of Honor photos open as I go, so I have some inspiration on the side and some reference. If you have Illustrator open, I think you can just simply drag in the sketch file and it'll just place it and you're good to go. I'm gonna make sure I got the right you guys can actually see the stuff and I've been on the wrong screen the whole time. That'd be great. There we go. Okay. So cool. All right, so I purposely when I originally drew these sketches, they were done in just like black ink essentially, digitally, but purposely kind of made these gray so they're easier just to kind of trace over. You can make them slightly transparent and see what you're doing easier. There we go. Trial swap meet. Okay, so a couple other things I like to do because I purposely did this where it's symmetrical, so it's something that we can get through kind of quicker and just kind of build as we go, and it's easier to if you want to make some sides asymmetrical or whatnot as we go. But purposely did that so it's just kind of if you're new to Illustrator and you're just kind of practicing and want to just get a good handle on things. We're not doing anything like super complicated to where it might get kind of crazy on you. So one thing I like to set up is you've noticed I've got my Align palette out, and that can be found just under Window and then go to Align, or it looks like the shortcut is Shift F7. So that'll pop that out. If you don't have options open, you won't see this. So all these little panels, and this took me a while to get used to. I don't know why. Hey, Craig's here. Oh, I see Anya. What's up, Upper? Oh, thank you for tuning in. So Craig hasn't been here in a while. We miss Craig. Everybody say hi, Craig. So on the Align palette, and all these palettes actually, you want to go ahead and right-click the hamburger looking menu. Although it's got 4 lines instead of 3. So yeah, it's like it's a double hamburger menu. So, and then just click on Show Options, and you'll see this Distribute Spacing, which I'll be honest, I've never used. I don't know what it does. We might have to try it out. But it's got that. But the thing that I want to point to the most is this Align To, and I like to keep it set to Align to Artboard. There's certain situations where I'll change it to Align to Selection. What's up, Neil? Good to see you too. And I see Kyle's here. What's up, Kyle? So I like to keep Align to Artboard on because it makes it super simple to just align stuff to the center of your document, and including guides. So if you don't have rulers on, you'll notice when you first open a document, you might not see rulers. Control R will pop those out. And then on rulers anywhere in the document, you can always just right click on it and set what type of measurement you want it to be in. For this one, I've got it set to pixels. So the other way I did that was I just went, when you make a new document, File, New, and then you can choose your settings in here. So I've got it 1280 by 1280 and then set to pixels, 1 artboard. If you've ever had a question on why can you have multiple artboards, it comes in handy when you're doing like icons and like brochures and print material, stuff that's going to be like multiple pages or multiple items, but they all keep the same, well, they don't have to be the same artboard size, but that's usually what you run into it for. You can use artboards for whatever and make as many as you want, I think. That's right, Perry. So we're not gonna. So let me. If don't get scared, we're not gonna use Illustrator this whole time. We're gonna dive into Photoshop later and play around with some effects and stuff. So yeah, don't. If you're kind of hesitant about Illustrator, don't be. But we will spend some time in Photoshop in the stream too. So these are my settings for now, and I've got got that all set up. So let's go back here. And then what I like to do is just drag out a guide from the left. So a vertical guide, and then if you go to View Guides and you go to Unlock Guides, you can unlock that guide, and then now you're able to select it with your selection icon, right? So this is why I like to align to artboard, because you can align guides to artboard. So now if I just come up to the top here and horizontally align it to the center, and I click it, that guide is now dead center of the artboard. And it makes it much easier to start building basically, symmetrical style shapes when you know where the center point is, and you can manipulate parts of those shapes to just always go to center by always clicking on the align. Ooh. So we got votes for Illustrator and votes for Photoshop. How long are you going to be live for? I'll be live until 7 p.m. Pacific. So for the next 2.5 hours. Yeah. Craig's got the setup. Right on, Craig. Craig, your box is still sitting behind me half full. I gotta send it over. I know I keep saying that. Oh man. So we're gonna start on the bull, the bull design first, and see how it goes. I think I don't know how to tackle it just yet. Of course, we're gonna use the pen tool, and we'll use the shape tool. I'm gonna make the shield shape by just using some ellipses. So I'm just I like to just kind of stop and look at it and just kind of like make a plan of attack in my head. Like, okay, how are we gonna build this? What needs to go where, and just kind of thinking through it before I dive into it. So we'll start on this one. Notice I've just cursored the bull over into kind of somewhere near the center, just so we can start building on it. Yeah. Okay. So. Oh, and I forgot to do an audio check. Is music too loud? Let me know. Or if you can even hear it. I can't hear it. But I've been messing with the volume. I messed up the volume controls last week. And I'm still kind of debating whether or not next week. Do you guys want to visit website design stuff again next week? Let me know. Also, let me know in the chat if you guys, what you guys want to check out. On the stream, because I've got a lot of stuff floating in my head. No music. Okay, so it might just be. Let's bump it to there. Hopefully that comes through. What is music? You gotta have some background noise, right? Does Illustrator know you're two-timing with Photoshop? They love each other. Don't worry. So I'm going to go ahead and lock the layer that these two sketches are on, and I'm just going to double-click that layer, and it brings up this dialog box. And you have this option down here called Dim Images, and you can dim images to whatever % you want. I'm going to go ahead and knock these back a little bit more, so probably, 35 might be cool. And that'll dim up, and so now I can easily see whatever I'm drawing up against it, right? So I'll create a new layer. Let me make sure you can see my layers palette. You can see the very bottom. I kind of mush this stuff up so you guys can get a better look here. So make a new layer above it, and that's the layer we're going to work on. So let's zoom in and see just how terrible my line work is. Monogram logos at the moment, simplistic. That's pretty cool. I can barely hear it now, like only when you don't talk. Okay, it's funny because the last few times I've put the the recording of the stream up, I always get like the music's too loud. I never can find a good balance. Let's try that and see where that ends up. I need to just be able to, like, in the software, there's got to be a way to just set volume. Yeah, so the 99 Lives robot I did. Okay, that's good to know. We might be able to do something like that. So do you mean the level up art? Would you guys like to go over something like that? Let me see if I can find it real quick. Let's see. Is that the artwork? So we did. Well, this was another one we did. Something like this. Kind of like that, Lewis. Might be able to do something like that in the stream. I got to get back into Photoshop a little more on the sketching side. But yeah, we could probably do something like that. It was that one, and then I did. If you haven't noticed, I do have a place in my heart for symmetrical stuff. Where was the other one? This one. Is it this one? Yeah, this was the one that ended up on the cover. There was one before it that I actually kind of like it better. I like his face better, his facial expression. But yeah, we might be able to do something like that. Although I don't know how far we'll get through it in a stream, but we can try. Time runs away when it's web stuff. Time runs away when it's all stuff. Yep. Okay. So I'll put that on the list. We'll try to do something like that on an upcoming stream and play around with some robot stuff. That'll be cool. Another thing I haven't touched in a while. All right. So we're gonna pop in here with the pen tool, but first let's go ahead and get the shield shape. Have you guys ever made a shield shape out of just 3 ellipses? So if you go over here and you select the ellipse tool, let's just drag out an ellipse to fit, let's see, to kind of fit our shield here. And I'm just doing one side. And I think the badges are actually a little bit like taller. Like they straighten out a little bit. Where do they go? Where do they go? So it's not a true like shield. See how it's kind of straight up top here? So what we can do, let's turn this into, give this an outline. And then I'm simply gonna add pen tool. Let's get close, get a shape going here. Bring it down. I think my oval was a little bit too long. I think that'll work. Maybe right about there. And then I can copy this, Control C, Control F to paste in front. And we'll move this over here. All right, so if I select both and hold Shift and M, brings up Shape Builder tool. And then we can just hold Alt and get rid of these two sides. All right, there. So now I have this shape and I can align it to center again just to double check that it's in the right place. So it's even simpler when we weren't doing the sides. You could do, like, you could take an oval, right? So take an oval like that, Control C, Control F, move it over, say something like that, and then make another one, Control C, Control F, just turn it, and you should be able to see it. You know, you can find, you know, your shield shape is right in there, right? Kind of like that. So you select all, right? Shift M, hold Alt, and just get rid of the parts you don't want. And boom, you got another shield shape. Like so. And somehow I'm making copies. So yeah, so there's kind of a trick like that where you can use just 3 ellipses, the same ellipses, and just, you know, where they intersect is your shield shape. So, and it helps to keep it, you know, it ends up really consistent because you use the same ellipse to essentially build the shape on all 3 sides. So that's a quick way to make those shields. For here, I'm going to do the same thing. We're going to drag out another ellipse, and then we're going to cut off the top essentially. So I'm going to line this, and that's pretty close. So now if I select both, Shift M for shape builder, hold Alt, the Alt key, and then just get rid of what we don't want. So there we go. We have our base shield shape that we're going to start with. So something kind of like that. We got kind of close enough. We might actually go like that, just a hair. Maybe like that. Let me do it again. I want the top a little more rounder, I think. So I'm going to Control Z back a bunch of times. I think I got a key sticking. What is playing? What is this? So a little bit rounder. All right, Shift M. Let's get rid of those pieces. All right, so there we got our shape. Now I'm gonna go ahead and make another copy of this. And Shape Builder is making extra copies. Okay, it's there. So Control C, Control F, and let's make a copy and just move it off because we're going to use another one for the Spartan one over here, right? So we'll keep a copy off the artboard here. So now we can work against what we have here. So now we're going to play the pin tool, good old pin tool. What's up, Hobo Cufflinks? The best username ever. It's crazy, isn't it? The first time I saw somebody do that in Illustrator, I didn't learn that on my own. I saw somebody do it. I don't remember if it was in a video or what, and I saw just take 3 ellipses and knock out what you don't want, and that was it. And I was like, that's genius. Why didn't I learn that stuff in geometry class? Would have came in handy. All right, so again, because we got, you know, a symmetrical piece here, we're just gonna build half of it, like what Craig was saying, and we're just going to build each shape and then copy, paste, and reflect it, and just drag it over, and it should be pretty easy. Perry needs a new logo. Who wants to help Perry make a new logo? All right, I'm gonna check Twitter real quick before we jump in. Make sure I haven't missed anything. Let's see. Again, guys, I'm gonna post it again if you would like to. The twitter.com. I just turned the old Facebook on again too, but I forget how to like check it. I'm not very Facebook savvy anymore. Ever since they keep changing stuff, I get lost and confused all the time. So yeah, so if you want to show me anything, there's the method. Just tweet it at me. If you don't have a Twitter account, post up the link somewhere, and one of us will permit you to post it up in here. What's up, Third Design? You got yourself, Perry? That's what I want to hear. All right, so we're going to start with the pen tool. And if you play with a pen tool before, we're going to start right on the guide. And if you hold like shift and drag, you'll get handles. Well, if you just click and drag, you'll get handles anyways. But we're going to hold shift so we have so we know what angle our what do you call it? The path is going to start. Plus, I'm thinking like I'm going to start drawing on the left side, and I want to think about how these middle points are going to attach to everything on the right side. When we get there, you'll see. But it helps when you're starting. I've noticed it helps when your starting point on the guide is like, usually at a 90. Seems to help. All right. Stop bugging Perry. All right. So use the pen tool, and then notice that I've already got a curve started, right? So on this next point, if I hold shift again, I can start getting that shape. See, like that, right? And we've got another curve going. So down here, if I hold shift, we've just made, it's click and hold and drag while holding shift. I know it's like a lot of like buttons and stuff, but that's how you start getting those nice, waves and whatnot. And we're trying to use as few points as possible. There's another thing I've been playing with the simplify tool a little bit as well. I think we're going to try that out once we start getting some shapes in here. So now that I'm on this one, you can see that this path isn't going the direction I want it to. It's like jetting out too far. So if you hold Alt and click on your anchor point that you just put down, you'll notice that we are now grabbing just one handle. See how the other handle right above it is stabilized? So we've broken that handle into two. And so now we can aim this one where we want to go next. And see how I'm kind of dragging the handle down? I'm going to overshoot it, because once I let off, that curve is going to happen, right? So I went a little too far, but we'll be able to fix it. In fact, let's do that again. I went too far. So I'm gonna press, hold Alt, and click on the anchor point, and I'm gonna drag it down the direction I want to go. But I'm leaving. Once you start playing with this thing, you start getting a sense of where these curves are going, and it's actually a very powerful tool once you like start to get the hang of it. So now if I let off, you'll see that this curve is starting, right? So if I come down to this next area where I want to put this next point, and just hold, I'm going to hold shift and pull it up. See how it starts making that curve? And that's how you get some of those real clean edges. When you have very few points, but you're manipulating where how your handles are starting and stopping. So on this next one, I think for now, I'm going to hold Alt again and aim this one the new direction I want to go. And then I'm just going to drop this one here for now. All right. This curve, it's a little bit short. So all I need to do is come down here and pull one of these handles down and just kind of give this a little more, get that curve going a little bit better. And so now you can see, we only use, what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points on this for this, pretty curvy organic shape. And once you start, it took me quite some time just to grasp that. I never really thought about that until just a few years ago, when I realized that the fewer points you have in one of these things, just the overall cleaner and sharper it becomes. So try to get into the habit of only making as many points as you need to, and your end product will look so much better. I used to add points everywhere, like, okay, turn, and it would turned into it when you backed up, it kind of looked smooth, but it was still, you know, you really looked at it and it's like, it's a little squiggly. And then I realized, okay, once you keep your point count down, things get a lot clearer. And to make this even a little bit clearer, once we get closer to finishing it, we're going to use the simplify feature, path feature as well, and see if we can make it just a hair more cleaner. So if you use the direct select tool, and this is why we set up to align to artboard first off. So the direct select tool is the filled arrow. So the selection tool is just the empty one, and the direct select is the filled one. So if I grab the direct select tool, and I'm just going to make a selection and select both my points that are on the path. These are the points that need to be dead center, and here's the importance of why we want them dead center. When we reflect it, we don't want any weird like joining, because we're going to join points together. We want them in the middle. So the cool thing about the align palette is that you can align points as well. It's not just like guides and overall shapes, but you can grab one point in any shape and align that. So as least points as thank you, Barry. So now if I click align, okay, you didn't see much move because I got pretty good on the guide there. But you can grab, let's see, like if I grab this point, just this top one, I can horizontally align one point, right? And this is where align to artboard comes in super handy. So I'm going to Control Z to back that up. But then these points to be, you want them centered, because we're going to copy this real quick. Control C to copy, and then Control F to paste in front. And then I forget who in the chat gave me this shortcut like months ago, but I love it now. Press O, and that's going to bring up the essentially the mirror, the reflection. If I hold Shift again, I can drag just simply to the left, and I've just mirrored this shape, right? And I'm going to drag it to the right and line it up. And then since we know also you want to turn on view, and you probably want smart guides on, that'll allow you to snap to shapes a little bit easier. So now these top 2 points, you know, there's technically 2 points here, right? So I want to join those, but now that I know that they're both, you know, I aligned both of them center, they're essentially right on top of each other. To double check, or to make sure they are right on top of each other though, press Control Alt and then the letter J, and you'll bring up average. And if you guys have, I know a lot of you guys are probably like, Evan, you go over this so often. I love this little feature. So this is averaging. This is going to take both those points, and it's going to average their locations and put them together, because we have both axes selected, right? So we're going to hit OK. And now I know that both those endpoints are right on top of each other. So now if I simply press Control J, it should be a single point. See that? It's a single point. Right? So let's do that again to the bottom. Control Alt J to bring up average. I want to make sure that both axes are selected, and then Control J to join. What happens if you don't have 2 points on top of each other and you join them? What do you think Illustrator does? It will join them by making a new path. All right? So I just hit Control J there without averaging them, and it joined both points by making a path, right? So the reason we use average, Control Alt J to average, is to put those points on top of each other. Oh, we selected everything. So Control Alt J, and boom, it takes those 2 endpoints and it stacks them on top. Once they're on top and in the same coordinate, you press Control J, it's the same point. So that's why the averaging comes in so handy when you build stuff like this. So yeah, okay. So let's keep trucking along. We're gonna use kind of the same, the same approach when we do like his nose here, or his snout, and the bottom of his jaw. But the rest of these pieces are just gonna be built kind of by themselves. So we're just gonna use the pen tool and pin tool it out. See what happens. Thank you, Perry. Let's see. You know what? If we're gonna do robots, I think we need to bring on a buddy of mine on that stream. We're gonna have to bring on Mark from Drawn the Famous. I'm picking up his Twitters. I think we should have Mark on. Maybe he'll want to join us for some robots. Are you in here, Mark? If not, I'm gonna bug you later. So let's go ahead and use the pin tool, and we're gonna keep going by dragging our handles out. And let's start on this horn. We're just gonna kind of get close. Let's see. I want to go to here. Well, I wonder if I should just cut it. Nah, I'm gonna build these as separate shapes. Kind of drag this one back out. We'll see. I might come back and do this as one shape and then cut it. I haven't quite decided how to approach this one yet. All right, let's see. Is Anya still here? Anya had a really cool mascot design. Anya, if you're still here, post that up. I want to show that off. I saw her post a mascot design earlier. I think that was today. I apologize if I don't remember. I got a terrible memory. But it was pretty cool. Get close. All right, let's just do this real quick and see if I'm gonna go ahead and flip the fill here and see if I want to. I think I want to build it as one shape. Yeah, let's build it as one shape, and then we'll just cut out the middle here. That was going to be a pretty long handle. All right. All right, so we have kind of a shape. Now might be a good point to try to simplify it a little bit, because down here, this area is a little bit kind of weird looking, just how the path went. Because of user error. So let's try and see if we can simplify it. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill this. Because I have a feeling that I'm using one more point than I need to. So if you go to Object, Path, and this we may not use this or not, but I just want to see what it'll do. Go to Simplify, and let's make sure Preview's on. And you can see how it even just toggling that, it kind of rounded this side a little more, which looks nice. We can kind of mess around with curve precision. It's a little too much. Maybe around 80. It did smooth that out pretty nice. Let me hit OK. And then I don't want a real sharp point here. So I'm gonna use the live corners. So if you use direct select and select that point, you'll get this prompt, or not prompt, but you'll get this toolbar up top which has live corners, and you can just set a corner radius. Macy, yeah, I sketched it last night. So the sketching was the same method as we're doing for the pen tool. It was I sketched half of it and then flipped it and, you know, just duplicated it to make the whole piece. I was gonna say something else and I forgot. But yeah, so it was sketch. I used a tablet to sketch, and it's not the best sketch in the world, but it's all right. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna invert this, and we're gonna draw in another path to split this. And this one's gonna be kind of hard. It turns a little bit weird. Hey, I drew it, so it's got to be kind of strange. Maybe this. Something like that. Okay, so this path, we're going to give it a stroke, and we're just going to bump up the stroke width. Maybe to like 6. And then I'm going to go to Object, Path, Outline Stroke. And we're totally losing that curve we had up there, but oh well. So I'm going to select both of these. And again, Shift M. And let's use Shape Builder and just get rid of these two parts. And now we should have this horn shape. So it's getting there. Let's keep building. Yep, Josh, it's CC. Yeah, I'll try to upload the stream on YouTube. You'd love to see a mascot. Will be appropriate and not breathe too close to the mic. I will be... what? Well, I know you're not the real Mark. You know why? Spelling. You got a K in your name. You can use the shortcut Shift X. Instead of clicking the little arrow to swap the stroke. Okay, yep. So what Art Soldier's saying is that when you press Shift X, it'll flip the it'll flip the outline to fill. So let's try that. Shift X. Yep. So I'm still using the Hold Alt method to get our guide going a new direction. That might be a little far again. And then let's clean it up a little bit. All right, and so I'm just going to keep drawing these shapes out with pen tool, and then we're just going to kind of fine tune them. I'm anxious to make like a pattern to go behind it to see how it turns out. The other thing I noticed about these is they're kind of, they're not super sharp. Well, that doesn't help. I need a bigger one. All the like ends are the little points where you know, the little details, they're kind of rounded. So I might, you know, try to round some of these edges just a little bit, just to kind of soften it up a little bit. And I've been using live corners for that. You select one of the points and then use live corners to round it. Again, I'm clicking and then holding Alt. And when you connect a shape and you've held Alt, you might have to hold Alt again before you click to connect. Otherwise, you will get like it'll try to it'll try to join the handles up again where it connects. So let me show you. It'll try to do this. So say you're drawing, you know, a shape. Well, if I click on this, notice how it's grabbing that other handle, right? So say I want my line to come across the top like that, but it's affecting that first curve. So if you run into that, just hold Alt before you connect it. And then it still splits the handle before you get to it, right? So you don't affect how that first handle went. Also, if you just click on it, if I just like, say I click and do a curve, if I just click on it, it'll straighten it. It'll get rid of that handle altogether. So you also notice your cursor changes just a bit. You get kind of like the little arrow, you know, for the, I forget what that tool is called. It's the same, the anchor point tool. So it changes to the anchor point tool. Except I just clicked off of it. So you'll notice if you hover over that anchor, you'll get that tool will pop up. So if you just click it, you know, the next handle will go. It'll just be a straight line. Yeah, Craig, what happened to that franchise? All right, Perry, thanks for stopping by. Yeah, it'll be up there. I'll put it up there. So yeah, so that's how you get that new path to go, you know, a new direction completely, and not be what's the word? Not be you know, the previous path. It doesn't matter where the previous path is. It'll just start a new path. So then you can start, you know, a new curve, right? And then boom, you got kind of, I don't know, kind of looks like maybe a weird duck. All right, so let's keep going. And Control Z is your friend. If you're like me, you will hit it way more often than you wish you would, but it happens. Maybe like that. This one might be tricky. I want to just do it in 2 paths, or 2 points rather. There we go. Hold Alt. I'm going to pull this new one. Hold Alt again. Pull the new one. Yeah, hold Alt. That. Let's get this cheekbone. Yeah, we'll put a point there. Sometimes this might be where you want to turn off snapping. Like, I haven't run into it just yet, but if you're trying to put a point down, it's just not going where you want it to. It could be because snapping is grabbing it. So the shortcut for that is it Control U? It'd be View Smart Guides. Yeah, Control U. So Control U will turn snapping on and off. I've had it on this whole time though, so I don't know if it starts to like be bothersome, then or not bothersome, but you know, I'm trying to do something that's not letting me, then I'll just toggle it off. So I'm going to try to simplify this one a little bit. Object path, simplify, and that really tore up that one end. So a way to kind of see if it's going to help is turn curve precision like almost all the way up. If your curve precision is at 100%, I don't know if it actually changes your base lines at all, your base shape. It might be, you know, it's trying to stay 100% precise to what you put down. I'm guessing. So it's not going to really adjust your shape there. But I do want to smooth it just a hair, so I'm going to go 98. If you click on Show Original, you can see another guide where, or another outline to where the old shape is. If you ever want to just kind of see, you know, what all is changing. one thing I've never understood about Illustrator: why is the pen tool the only way to build clean lines? Why can't it all be done freehand and the paths be created from there for clean? You mean freehand from like using a brush tool? The you know what? We should probably yeah, I think there's a well, it'll do smoothing. I forget where that setting's at, Craig. When you use like the blob brush or brush tools in general, I think there's a setting for it's almost like a stabilizer setting. Inner Zoo, yeah. So watch what happens there. So if I select this one is probably gonna get really funky if I go to where to go, path, simplify, and I turn it the precision way down. It really simplified it, right? So the precision, you can see if the precision's way down, it's going to become essentially a simpler shape. Angle threshold. I think so. Angle threshold, if correct me if I'm wrong, but that has to do with the way the handles are going, I think. So whatever direction you pulled the handles of the points down, the anchor points, I think that manipulates that part of it. But don't quote me, I don't remember. I just know curve precision is your friend. So let's see. Oh, see, look at this. Kyle's jamming. Nice work, man. I love how you use the red and gold. Looks great. And you use some gradients in there. Very nice job. Rushed to the bench since I have other things to do, but here's something. Very cool. Let me get that out there. Nice job, bud. Very cool. Yep. If you're following along, send them over. And you know, if you want to start on the Spartan one instead, go for it. There are no rules. Yeah. You know what? I haven't noticed. Anybody else noticed any like military style games that has art like this in it lately? I haven't really come across any that really stood out. Let's see, where do I want to go with this curve? No, I don't want to do that. The last stream we did gaming emblems, we looked at like the Call of Duty stuff, and at least the samples I saw was very like 3D rendered stuff, like for prestige emblems, which is pretty cool. But I haven't come across anything lately that has been more like this, where it's just kind of a real, you know, simple color. Or not simple color, but just, you know, very few colors. I don't know why I keep saying simple. It's not like simple. It's like, it's just very few colors used. This shape is going to kick my butt. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it the way I want it. You know, can I get that whole thing? If I drag a super long, I don't know if this will work. It'll get awful close, but let's leave it and see if I can fix it. I don't think this will work, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna see if I can get just 2 points to do a curve that like dramatic. I don't think it'll. We'll get close. We'll get close. Kind of. It's missing that curve up there. Let's redraw it. Let me zoom out a little bit. I might be in kind of tight too, which is not... Sometimes you don't want to be zoomed in all the way. It just doesn't... My eyeballs can only handle so much. More like that. And we'll use the simplify. Definitely use the simplify on this one. Building our shape. So let's go. Because see how this curve kind of... I don't know. To me, it looks kind of just janky how this side came in. So let's go to Object, Path, Simplify, and kind of play around with this. I'm going to turn the threshold back down. Kind of like that. Okay. And then it actually, I think it moved that point slightly. Let me try dragging that handle out a little more. Let's leave it there for now. Mess with this next one. I zoomed in again. I probably should have stayed zoomed out, but yeah, I'm not liking that curve. It's tricky, man. All right. Be like that, and then let's go to Object, Path, and simplify this one too. And I just saw the bottom move a little bit, and it does look a little bit better. All right, it's a whole section for military patches. Wildlands. Oh, Wildlands does? Ooh. The portrait art used in Overwatch, but that's not a military. Can you guys send me samples? I want to see what you guys are referring to. Either on here or Twitter. Oh. Right on. I got a message on Twitter that Hefix is trying it out. He said coming soon on his, so I want to see it, Hefix. Oh, I'm sorry, soldier. Do you need to be permitted? Let's try that. That should allow you to post for a minute. Find stuff online. Yeah, I've been looking around too and can't. Okay, so let's get this snout in, and then we're gonna work on the number. Oh, I gotta draw an eyeball too. Here's some of the Overwatch icons that I mentioned. Okay, yeah, sorry, soldier. Nightbot's like it doesn't. Sometimes it gets worried. All right, so we got half the... And let's go ahead and get eyeball in there, and after I draw this eyeball, I'm gonna look at the link that soldier just sent. Okay, so yeah, definitely simpler. If you look at the link that that soldier sent, definitely simpler where it's just, you know, one or two colors. Like even this one, how it has some dimensionality. The looks like a lion with a crown. It's really, I mean, it does have a gradient behind it. Actually, a lot of these do have a gradient behind it, but the base shape is really just a dark gray and a light gray, right? And then the eyeball is just an empty space that's allowing the background to come through. But it is, you know, it's just a few colors. This one's a little, I can't tell if that's a single color or if that is a gradient on. Is that a jar of peanut butter? I like this thing. the dragons eating each other's tail. This one's pretty cool. Yeah, but these are just, you know, you're right. These are just these are more icons that use just 1 or 2 or 3 colors in them. Very cool. Let's see. Yeah. Can't you do the steam smoke from the nose like the horn? From the nose, as in doing it as one shape. Yeah. I don't know. Let's see what this looks like overall, and then if we need to go back and, for consistency, do that, because that's a good call, Lewis. We might need to do that. Okay. So let's go ahead and select our new shapes. Okay, so I've got all the new shapes. Control C, Control F, and Control F is to paste in front. So Control V will just paste, like, I think it pastes in the center of the artboard. But we need it to be right in front so we can manipulate where it's going to go and be pretty precise. So Control F, I've got a new copy pasted right in front of the duplicate. Press the letter O, or let me show you. You know, let's just go this way. Let's go to Object, in case you haven't seen this. Transform, Reflect, and then you want to reflect it on the vertical axis. Right. This will do the same thing. If I preview, it's doing the same thing. It's just reflecting it. What we did was the shortcut O brought up the reflect. Shortcut, or the shortcut O brought up the reflect tool thing. Hafix, how's yours turning out, bud? We're all anxious to check it out. And then hold shift and drag, so you can, holding shift will keep it as you drag on an axis. Okay, so now we got the 2 shapes in the middle, and we need to join them, right? So let's do join those 2 points. Control Alt J to average. Control J to join. Control Alt J to average. Control J to join. And then we'll do it 2 more times on this other shape. All right. So let's see how it's looking real quick, shall we? Let's select all our shapes. And what was that shortcut? Shift X to flip it. So you can see we definitely need nostrils. Let's go ahead and select all of these, and we'll change the fill color to just white for now. And then let's fill our background color. You can see, you know, we got the bowl shape working. It's getting there. Getting close. Okay, so let's reverse all this stuff back out. So you can see what we're doing. Let's draw these nostrils in. So I'm gonna start in the middle on the guide again. Let's start that. Let's start this path over. We need to bring this handle over further. So we have half the shape drawn, so let's grab those 2 points and make sure that they're aligned center. And we're going to fix this handle a little bit. Actually, we might need to just tweak it slightly. Make sure these are centered again. Control C, Control F, the letter O. Hold Shift and drag it until it cooperates. Go. There you are. Like that. Okay. Control Alt J to average. Control J to join. Control Alt J to average. Okay. Control J to join. All right. So now we have to knock out this piece from, right? So let me go ahead and we'll flip this. And let's flip this too. All right, so we need to knock out this color here, right? We don't want his nostrils in that shape. So hold Shift and select both, and we're gonna do the same thing that we did. We use Shape Builder again, like we did on the shield, right? So select both, Shift M, right? Hold Alt, and click on the nostril piece. All right, so there. Now we have knocked out that shape, and this should be, you know, by itself. So I'm gonna select all these, and let's go ahead and give it a fill. Cool. We got ourselves the thing. Change the anchor point to your center line. You could have changed the anchor point to your center line. Change the anchor. I'm not following. You mean the change the? You mean on the nostril here where we had? Can you, Miss Luby? Can you explain a little bit? The anchor point to your center line. Yeah, I'm not quite following. I think, well, no. So, legendary. Oh, that's definitely a username you got to say out loud, then it sinks in. Oh man, yes, on the nose. Sorry, that was out synced. You mean the center points? You mean these 2 points here? You know what? Did I remember to align them? Yeah, they're aligned. Okay. Legendary. Photoshop and Illustrator. Different, yes. Is Illustrator better? They're both better. So Illustrator, we're using Illustrator for its vector qualities, because I can grab this. If I select this whole thing and watch this, I can blow this puppy up as big as I want it, or I can shrink it down as small as I want it. Watch this. Zoop. And it retains all of its sharpness, because it's mathematical points. So all the lines and shapes we built are just they're coordinates essentially, right? So they're not pixel based. If I take this into Photoshop, let me boot Photoshop up. Photoshop is pixel based, so you're going to end up with a lot of blurring and whatnot. But Photoshop is perfect for photos, right? You can't do all the photo manipulation stuff in Illustrator. So that's how they're different, but they're both really good. Let's go ahead and, because pixel based, you know, if I grab this, Control C, and I'm going to copy it, and it's still booting. Just thinking. All right, File, New. So if I go, say, we'll use the same artboard dimensions, 1280 by 1280 pixels at 72 dpi. So if I paste this in, and I'll paste it in as pixels, all right? Right, as I'm zooming in, you can see, you know, it's the pixelation from, because it's the pixel based stuff. So if I scale this, Photoshop does a pretty good job, but you can see that it's it's getting blurry. So I lose that vector quality there. So that's why we're building the base of it in Illustrator, and then we'll use Photoshop to apply like the more photographic effects. But yeah, so to get back to your question, yes, exactly. So it's all vector information, and we don't have to worry about it like falling apart when we scale it around. So I wanted to try to change the one. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, I wanted to try to change the 1 to a 7. I wonder if we can just steal a 7 from some font. This is what, Myriad? Or if we'll have to end up drawing one in. Bold. Yeah, we need it to be all. We can use. Let's use this as like our. See if a 7 will even work. 7 kind of looks funny. Maybe we can make it work. Hold on, we might be able to make it work. All right, so let's just keep this here for now, and we're gonna trace it essentially. So I just pressed Control and the number 2 to lock it. Let's choose, let's draw in like, let's just use white so we can, because it's pretty just straight, right? So let's just do a couple rectangles and see if this is gonna work. I think maybe if we catch it right at this point down here, it might actually work. So then, let's pull this over. Well, let's try Shape Builder. So Shift M, and we want to get rid of. Let's see, do we want that, or do we want a sharp point? Okay, so I'm gonna go to Object, Unlock All, because I'm gonna lock the 7 behind there. Get rid of the 7. And if we change this, we can just check real quick. I can just bring this shape to front, Object Arrange, bring to front, and let's zoom out and just see how it's looking. Can we keep the 7? I mean, I like having a number 7 instead, but does it work? Working on a lion. Ooh, I want to see it, Frame. It's exactly how you said. Just move the center point of the symmetry to mirror the node. Ah, yes. Yep. Pixel-based artwork for my games. Vectors seem like a good idea if I was better. Ooh, what games do you make, Ledge? You got it. You got it. You got it. You got to show us. You got to share. Pixel-based art it's hard. I have deep respect if you do pixel-based art. I have to do the cheat method where I just make it big and then just like, you know, downsample it way down without. Maybe expand the base of the character. The bottom is a bit awkward. Expand the base of the character. The base you mean by. So what if we do this? All right. Here's where, you know, we made a copy of the shield. Before we get too far into this, let's make a copy of this whole thing. Control C, Control F. We'll drag this off, just in case we don't want to use the 7. I think I just spilled water everywhere. Hold on. Ugh. Yeah, good job. There we go. Clean. So maybe if we like integrated it a little bit better. So let's use the 7 and knock it out of this shape, right? So Shift M, hold Alt and get rid of it. And now maybe let's try. We're gonna get kind of tricky here. I gotta lock the background, lock this shield so I don't accidentally mess it up. Okay, so now I'm gonna get rid of. If I use the direct select tool, you can't see this because the guides are red. So if I double click this layer, let's go ahead and change. Let's go to light blue so you guys can see the outlines better. There we go. Because if I've got it filled with red and the lines are red, you can't see it. I moved this point slightly because let's get rid of this path. And then I'm gonna try to just put it right on top. This should work. Control Alt J. I just average both of them and then Control J. Okay, cool. See how live corner came up there? That little circle. Let's try this. Let's grab just that one point, and then maybe if we just kind of smooth that out, that transition might be a little bit, you know. Maybe that'll help it. It's not as abrupt. That looks kind of cool. I think we'll keep it for now. Might have to revisit it later. Thank you, Swan Meat. Let's see. Uh-oh, the Nightbot gets you again. Or no, that was oh man, who did Nightbot get last time? That was Soldier last time. It's my yeah, Legendary. Post it to Twitter. That's the easiest way. Ooh. That's cool. Wait, is Legendary and Jamie, are you the same person? What's up, Curse? That is cool, isn't it? On my way back from visiting Minnesota, I drew this winter scene. That's, man. Do you do this with like the pencil in Photoshop, where you just put down one point? Or are you drawing? Is that how you do it? Is with the pencil tool? I don't remember. Okay, cool. Man, good job. I dig it. Wait, did that work? Where did that even post to? Okay, it did work. It just didn't. It didn't show the retweet icon as filled. Thanks, Twitter. You're making my brain hurt. Curse, I've been good. How have you been? I've been missing you guys. I was gone last week. All right, so now we got to figure out text. Remember? So the Medal of Honor one says MOH. Do we want to do Medal of Honor, or do we want to do something different? And it can be, something to do with the Adobe stream, or if you guys can think of something that goes along with maybe a phrase or some sort of, saying that goes with, let's say that goes with a bull. The only phrases I can think of are like when you're calling somebody out on something. I don't know. I mean, MOH is an abbreviation, so maybe we should do something that's also an abbreviation. I can't think of anything. Ah, thanks, Curse. Frame, we can't wait to see it. IRL, in real life. So I've got a pretty cool font that we can use, and I'm gonna grab. Let's make a new curve. Let's use the ellipse tool again, and I'm watching the top of the path here, and that's what we're gonna type on, right? So we've got an ellipse, and let's center that. And then we can actually just get rid of this bottom point for now. There's no real reason to keep it. All right, let's go to our type tool and change it to select type on a path. Okay. And you can see my type is going way off the path because it's not off the path, but it's aligning right because I must have aligned something on a path previously that was aligned right. So I'm going to type IRL. You can't see it because, of course, it's the same color as the shield. I'm going to select it all. And for now, let's just type with that. And now we can go to the select tool and go to the character palette and paragraph and center it. All right, center is way over there currently. So I have a font that I think might be close. Silverfake, that's kind of close. It's serif though. We want something that's not serifed. What else do I got that was, I thought I had another font that was very similar. Nixon, no, that's serif tool, but that might work. It's got kind of a cool personality to it. All right, so we're typing on a path. And I don't know if we're going to keep it in real life, but for now. Oh, we don't want to grab the path. If you go back to your select tool, you'll see there's this line, and that's where the center point is. So we're trying to just select that center point line. And then we can start dragging this thing to the center, which is that anchor point, essentially. Right? And then now we can adjust spacing. And give it quite a lot of spacing. Let's do 400. Something like that. IRL. I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, Lewis, I'll check Twitter. Oh, wow. Lewis picked some colors. That's pretty cool. Going a bit crazy with colors. Yeah, you are. It looks good, dude. Looking good. Looks like, reminds me of like 80s colors. Or just straight up CMYK. You got the cyan, the magenta, the yellow, and the black, which is K. Nice work. Yeah, see, yours looks really sharp too. All your shapes turned out real smooth and nice. Man, good job, dude. Loving it. Love seeing this stuff. Send it over. All right, let me make sure I can see the whole chat. All right, so we have IRL. Now let's go ahead. You know what we need to do? We need to object, and then we need to unlock all, because we need an outline, right? If we look at these base designs again, you know, they have this outline. So let's give this an outline. We're going to offset path. So let's zoom out one, and let's give it quite a thick outline. So we're going to go to path, offset path, and let's check on preview. And that's 10. Let's see what 20 looks like. 20 might be pretty good. Yeah, I think that's also like the edge of the patch, right? When they do the edging, that's kind of what holds the patch together. I think I had I have a picture of or I showed one earlier, right? You know, kind of like the edging, right? The edging. Like that. And actually, now look at this. Is this 2-color? I think it's just silver thread. But like, you know, like the edging of the patch. So we have an, ooh. So they were selling this one at one point. Task Force Atlas. Oh, I gotta look that one up. I wasn't able to find that one before. Okay, so 20, let's do 22. Okay. And we can actually change that to red. All right. Boom. We got it. I think just to kind of fill spacing, we're going to throw a star in the bottom just cuz it'll fit. Let's rotate it. Let's right side up. Very cool. And we got one. We made one. It worked. Leah, what's up, Leah? Grab the bull by the horns. Yep. How many letters is that? Grab the bull by the horns. GTBB. Ah, that's a good saying too. How could we integrate that? There's also, you know, mess with the bull, get the horns. What's up, Respect? Homer, I don't know if any of those work. Adobe's been live since 7 a.m. today. I've been on since 4 p.m. and I'm on Pacific time. So a couple hours. Wow, it's already been a couple hours. See, this stuff flies by. Let's play with some effects in. So let's go ahead and make another copy of this. Control C, Control F, and drag yet another copy off. Always keep copies. You never know when you're going to need them. All right. So this text here. Good call, BTH. Oh, wait. Wasn't that a... Hold on. No, that was BTK. I was going to say, wasn't there a serial killer with... BTH. I think that was BTK. Okay, that was okay. We're in the clear. That was BTK. We don't want that. But BTH, perfect. Good call, BTH. By the horns. All right. So I'm going to turn the text into outlines. So you can do that two ways. You can go to Type. Where is it? Where is it? Create outlines. Right? Or Shift Control O. This will turn it into a shape. Shift Control O. It'll also get rid of our path. Okay, so notice our path is gone, and we want to, let's go ahead and knock out the background. So we'll select these two, Shift M, hold Alt, and excuse me, we just have the background. So now we should just have our base shape here. I've turned the whole all the fills to white. Control C, and let's go drop it into Photoshop and have us some fun. All right, I'm gonna use the same canvas we had before. All right, Control V, and this time I want to paste it in as a smart object. That'll allow us to like edit in Illustrator if we need to. Okay, so you can't see it because of course we colored the whole thing white, and the artboard is our canvas is also white. So let's do something cool. I had a stock photo that I bought a while back that might come in, might work pretty cool right here. Where did it go? Bear with me, I'm finding it. Is it, now the question is it under stock folder or is it under textures folder? Here it is. Okay, so I had this like light thing. Okay, let's simply drag, let's copy this, Control A, Control C, paste it behind, and ooh, it's looking mighty cool. So it's a little, the orange is a little too bright and it's kind of busy. So I'm gonna go to, what is it? The adjustments layer. And oh man, you can't see it on the stream. Okay, so at the bottom of my palette here, I'm going to select, can you see that? Okay, that comes up. We're gonna go to exposure. And we're simply gonna grab the top one and kind of pull it down, and we'll darken that a little bit. And it's gonna also give us a mask. That -3. All right, so we have an exposure layer. I think they gave these things a drop shadow, didn't they? Yeah, a bit of a drop shadow. So let's go to our vector image, and we're gonna do layer style, and we're gonna do drop shadow. And unfortunately, you can't see me clicking on drop shadow. We'll do drop shadow and outer glow. Size. We want. Wait, am I on? I'm on outer glow. Okay, I want drop shadow on first. Yeah, 90. Let's change this to flat black. Bump the size up, the distance. I remember when you had to do all this manually. It was rough. Outer glow, we'll make that one black as well. Bump the size up. And the opacity a little bit. Cool. I think we need, let's manipulate this mask a little bit. So I'm gonna use a soft brush. We'll just kind of play around just a hair, just kind of brighten these areas up. And then I feel like we need to give it some noise or something. Nah, these are all just plain old, pretty smooth. I think maybe the bull needs to come up a little bit. So watch. So I double clicked on that layer. And since we pasted it as a smart object, we can actually open it up and manipulate that smart object. So we want to move the whole bull up slightly, I think. So I'm going to select all the parts to it, and I'm going to Control G to group it. Control G. So we can maybe fill the shield shape out a little bit more. And actually, the star is such just a solid shape, so let's break this up. Let's do 3. I did that first one. Did I do it wrong? No. We give enough clearance. Sorry, I'm getting quiet because I'm in focus mode. And I'm missing one, aren't I? Oh, I grabbed the whole thing. I just wanted the point. Path, outline stroke. Let's go to Pathfinder. Unite. All right. Hold Shift, select star, Shift M, and then let's just get rid of the other spaces. There we go. I'm gonna group that as well, just in case. Make it just a hair bigger. So if I save in here, Control S, it'll automatically update here. And it looks a tad odd because I'm zoomed in. You know what? I think my my shadows are too harsh. And you know what? I think slightly blurring the background might help. So let me adjust. It's the drop shadow that's too harsh. See up top? It looks like super dark. Okay. Now I can go ahead and just make this picture a smart object. Convert to smart object. Let's go to filter, blur, gallery. I want to use blur gallery. Let's see what it looks like. Let's play with tilt shift and see what it does. Now we're just kind of experimenting. Blur. Making a Twitter account. Oh, sorry. Let me catch up on chat. Yeah, post it on Twitter or just yeah. Thank you, Swammeat. Use lasso tool to highlight all of the bold pieces and then Control 8 to turn them into a compound path. So if you ever need to move it again, just have to select it once. A compound path. You mean rather than a group? This would probably look cool with that image clipped as the logo's coloring. Like if we reversed it. Oh, Craig. He's being attacked by ants. I wonder when Evan is going to see my sketch. I'm quite proud. Yep, I'll look at it. Hold on, let me just, I'm going to okay this real quick. And since we made this a smart object, I can manipulate the blur later. So let's see what you got. Ooh. Very cool. I love the crown. I love how you handled the, like, his mane. That's looking good. Did you sketch this in? And just working on it? I like it. Right on. What's up, Westy? Right on, Frame. This looks good, dude. If you made the background color as the color as the logo, you mean like, so what would the background be? This looks really good, Frame. I dig it. I like it. I like how he's slightly looking upwards, which is kind of cool. Because the crown looks like it's going back. That's a cool idea for a crown. Man, nice job, dude. All right, I gotta stand up for a sec. Okay. Man, nice work. Smart objects are useful because they're basically link files. Yep, exactly. So that's what we did. We double-clicked the layer, and we were able to open it up in Illustrator. And you'll notice it gives it a file name as usually something like this, vector smart object, and it'll increment it. So if you have multiple ones in a file and you open them up, they'll be like, you know, Vector Smart Object 2, 3, 4. If you're working on like website designs and you're doing icons as vector shapes, you'll have like a whole slew of them. The color of the white logo. If you made the orange streak image the color of the white logo. So what would the background be then? Because we could go, you mean Control J, like, it's a little rough to, it's hard to see though. I mean, if it was just like, I mean like that. Well, frame, I'm digging it. It's looking really good, dude. Let's see. That's a good track, approaching Nirvana. Oh, okay. So Russell would like some pointers on how to tighten up this logo. Not sure about letter placement. So the things that I see right off the bat is one trick you can start using with letters. Overall, the image itself, like, let me copy this. Copy image. No, Swifty, I think if I find a right combination of the contrast of the background with the badge looking thing, I think that could look pretty cool. Hey, I see a Michelle in here. What's up, Michelle? Very cool. Haven't seen you in a while. Nice to see you. So let me paste this in. I gotta create a new document first. So one quick thing to do, and this just helps to look at it, is let's just, you know, give it some breathing room, just so we can see what's going on. I like where you're going with here. One thing for this shape that you might want to watch out for is this line. When this thing gets scaled down, you're going to lose that line. So you probably want to thicken this negative space here to see so you make sure you always see the bottom of that hand. So, you know, probably about the same, it's pretty thick, but the same width that you have these negative breaks, use that here. And it'll just help it feel much more consistent. But it'll also, when you scale it, you'll be able to retain that detail you got there. The text here, I would work on some kerning here. So like it feels like this C could come over a touch. Layer via cut. That might help it read a little better, because I feel like the R and the I, with this font, there's quite a gap. Even though they almost touch, there's still, you know, there's a gap there. So my eyeballs may not be, I feel like maybe the Y here. And I'm leaning back so I can kind of, maybe just a hair. But yeah, you could like look at the spacing in between the letters and see where, you know, optically that they're lining up, but that there isn't too much negative space in between. I feel like there is here too, maybe just a tad. But that would help tighten it up. And also, is this? Does that need to come up a hair? Yeah, bring that line up a little bit. Yeah, so here, I mean, you do. I'm just gonna go quick and see. Fill path. There. See, something like that would help it a bit. See how you've given that more negative space there? So I clean that up. You might want to just play around with fonts too. This might be a little thin. Because when when you're looking at it small, you might want to play with a bit of a bolder font, and that might help strengthen it a bit more. Yeah, so play around with fonts, line weight consistency, and you're getting there. It's looking cool. Yeah, hope that helped, bud. There is a game online that is about kerning. Yeah, it's. Do you remember the link to that, Joey? It's a good little what do you call it? Why can't I think of the word? It's a cool little tool for practicing. But yeah, cool, Epoch. I'm glad I could help a little bit. Adding a background layer. What do you think of people that logo mascot design in Photoshop rather than Illustrator? So Trixel, it's really, yeah. I mean, it comes down to the scaling thing. It's if in Photoshop you're not going to be able to scale it up and down. So getting used to doing it in Illustrator, just for that simple fact alone, will make it'll make that logo, your in mascot logo, where it can work anywhere. So getting used to doing that part in Illustrator. Remember there's a lot of the effects that you're probably looking for in Photoshop. You can do that in Illustrator. Like you can apply gradients and some like layer styles here and there if you really want to. Those type of effects are usually put on for, like, if you think about it though, like when you take a logo and say you want to apply a drop shadow for it for some reason or another, that drop shadow is usually very specific to the marketing material that's going on, right? It's like this shape we have here. This patch thing, like we didn't apply the drop shadow and whatnot to Illustrator because in Illustrator, because we're not really gonna need the drop shadow is only needed because we have a photo behind it, right? So the base logo doesn't need that drop shadow, right? So like when you start pulling apart which effects you need, you'll see that a lot of like gradients and whatnot in, say, even the mascot logo, for the most part they may not even be needed unless it's in like it's being used in like a marketing side of things, or some sort of ad or something. Maybe that it calls for a little bit of extra style applied to it somehow. There are plenty of logos with gradients and whatnot, though. That's for sure. It really depends on what you're going for. But again, doing this stuff in Illustrator is what's going to keep those base shapes easily editable, and so you can scale it and not lose your clarity with it. So yeah, so that I would strongly suggest diving into Illustrator on the next mascot logo. Now, when you're sketching a mascot logo, that's very much Photoshop. You can that part. I do that in other programs. I do the sketch part in Photoshop and in other, like, just drawing programs. You can sketch it in Illustrator as well. I haven't done that in a while. Oh man. Oh, there it is. Is that the type.method.ac? Is that the link to the the little testing thing, the tool? Need to get John in here on a Skype call. Oh, we do. Yeah, Yep. I want to get John on here for some logo design stuff. So Trixel, I hope that answered your question. They definitely go hand in hand. You know, both programs go hand in hand. But I would build the mascot side in Illustrator, just to keep it super clear. You know, keep that, because you're gonna run into many times where you need to scale that thing up, or you need like super high res for stuff. I was just working on designs for a trade show booth, and one wall was like, I think it's like 10 feet tall by, I want to say 40 feet wide, and there's there's a word mark on it, and there's no way if I had made that word mark in Photoshop, I'd have to be redoing the whole thing, right? So, but I had it already as a vector element that I could just scale it up, and it was done. For that, something that big. Oh, John doesn't want to stream. We'll have to we'll twist his arm. We'll try to talk him into it. All right, so we got through the bull one. We have a little less than another hour, so another like 45 minutes. I kind of want to take one of these though, and let's maybe work on a pattern to go behind it, and we'll still keep that in. We'll still do that in Illustrator. I'm looking at this artboard though, and I'm thinking there's a lot of stuff going on. I want to kind of consolidate this stuff down. Let's move these over further. Except we still need a copy of this one. And we change this to by the horns. And we'll change that to an outline. All right. Let's briefly move this out of the way for now. Group that. I kind of like the let's see what our versions are, right? Okay, so we have this red and white one. I'm gonna copy it, and let's do one that would be, let's do select same, fill and stroke, and then we can turn all of that to one color. I want to offset this path again so we can see what just just with the black background look like. So I don't want to outline stroke. Object path, offset path, preview. Yeah, let's do 22 for now. Change that to black. So we have that one. This is our knocked out version for now. Make a copy. All right, let's play around with backgrounds. What does Captain Muff? It sure is. Is Michelle still in here? Michelle, I haven't caught up with you in forever. I wanted to see how you're doing. I see you're streaming with was it some of the, who was it recently? Man, my brain is so bad. Yes, I met Michelle through Louie and the Hidden Masters guys. Those were a lot of fun. Yep, what's up, Scruffy? Um, cool. Yeah, still chugging away. Still working on stuff. The Kern game. Yep, that was the... All right, so I wanted to see, let's make, let me look up, let's get some reference here. What does digital camo look like, and can we make it in Illustrator? Oh, Craig might have found something. The Tom Clancy Kraken patch. In-game. What is this? Is this is one of the ones from Wildlands. Oh, now I got to go play that game and see what all these look like. This is precisely what I was talking about. So I'm going to take a stab and guess that these were done in Illustrator, and then they were 3D rendered with the stitching texture on them. So I bet somewhere, well, I may lose that bet, but I'm fairly certain that there is a Illustrator version of these patches laying somewhere on somebody's computer. Just like what we're doing here, that they used for these renderings. That's really cool. Man, good find, Craig. Now I got to go find more of those. I want to see what else they use in that game. I love that type of stuff. Wildlands patches. All right. Operation, we got to find them. Lewis. GG. Good job, dude. You know what you might want to do down here at the bottom, instead of having this look like having these little spaces, make it just a solid shape and just have bowls in like in the blue, maybe, to knock it out, like a solid shape. Because I almost thought, when I first looked at it, I almost thought they were teeth. Like, it kind of, like a quick glance, and it looked like teeth coming off the like a smile almost. So maybe if this was just one solid shape with the bulls knocked out of it, that'd be pretty cool. I like where you're going though, dude. Looks good. Oh, I love it. Nice job, guys. Nice job, everybody. Let's see. You go through the game later and screenshot them and say, thank you, Craig. Man, I'd love to check them out. All right. And I see Yesk is back. Yeskart. I hope I'm saying it right. All right. Let's try. I was going to look up. I totally got sidetracked. I need to look up. So it's digital camo, right? Digital camo pattern. I'd type in camouflage, but I still to this day cannot spell it correctly. Images. So something like that. So we could do that with like just blocks. It'd be a little bit time consuming. I wonder if there's a quicker way to do this type of stuff. See, I was thinking like a background like that. Vector tiles. Hold on. Can we... What's their usage policy like? Wow, there's a bunch of them. Wow, there's a bunch of camo. We can make this though. We'll try our hand at it. It just might be time consuming for the stream though. Debating. Well, let's try. Because we'd be doing a lot of. Just to get a quick idea, let's screenshot that. Well, no, let's just make our own. Let's make a camo pattern. We do squigglies. So let's draw. Should we use? Where is it? We're gonna get into unknown territory. Where is the pencil? Pencil tool. I think I can do it with this, right? Like that. And then I think we can play with some other tools. Let's do a dark gray. Let's come down here a little bit. And that line went weird. I know how to do it in Photoshop. Maybe it works similar in Illustrator. The pixelate filter. Oh, that's right. Does that live in Illustrator? Let's check. Effect. Is there, or mosaic? Wouldn't it be mosaic? Pixelate. No. I don't remember if there is a mosaic tiles. No, that's not it, but we can. I don't remember. If anybody remembers how to do this in Illustrator, you know, we could just do. We could do it in Photoshop rather easily, and then maybe trace it. Well, wait, let's keep those. File new. Let's see if this will work. Gradient, diamond. Filter. Wait. Filter, render. It's starting to come back. Clouds. Filter, sharpen, unsharp mask. Maybe image adjust. Levels. Oh, nice. Soldier Auger, look. Filter. Pixelate. Mosaic. Cell size 40. 50. And we should. What we should do is start with a base. Camo. Image trace. Shades of gray. Let's see. Expand. It's kind of rounded, but it'll give us a quick. We made it quick, and it'll give us a quick little idea. Move these two over here. Oh, they're the same color as background. I can't see them. Okay, so Control Y, and I want this one. Control C. Object, clipping mask, make. Oh, it's grouped. That's right. Control X. Transparency 50. Well, we made it quickly to see what it would kind of look like. It kind of looks cool, actually, to have a texture behind it. Very interesting. I feel like we need so I've got this grouped, and what I can do is I can select one, right, and go to select same fill and stroke, and oh, it's only that one, so select same fill and stroke. But now I can, you know, I could just select chunks. This is called quick and dirty. Very quick and dirty. Oh, that's too much. This is how you do it quick for live streaming. There, made some darker spots. I think that might be a new personal record for really half-baked digital camo. Yep, Hefix, that keyboard. Mosaic tiles and adjust tile size, I think. Oh, did somebody ask how I was doing that? What would you do for that blur then pixelate? Did you guys want to see that part again? You know, so to make these, I used to do this for Minecraft stuff. Like if I needed like a Minecraft looking thing on the fly, you just go to File, New, and then you can do this with any color. Like if you needed a real quick, like just, you know, pixel looking back. Wait, I was supposed to look at something on Twitter. Oh, okay. This is something that I wanted to do. Kodiak, are you in here? So there was another effect that somebody showed me. I wanted to play with it. There's a 3D effect in Photoshop. Is this in Photoshop? This must be... Oh, under the 3D palette, new mesh from layer. Okay, that's something... Okay, we might have to visit that on a stream. Soldier, did you send something? I thought Soldier was gonna send something. Did I miss it? Or did I already look at it? Man, my brain is gone. I apologize if I missed it. Drawing inside to clipping mask. Clipping mask is so complicates. Drawing inside. I don't think I've ever done that. I gotta tell me how you do it. Pixelator filter. What's up, Aiden? We did. I mean, it's funny how many different like ways you could solve that though. It's pretty cool. So if you go to like just select a couple colors. Like say you needed to make a Minecraft sky for who knows what reason, right? You just need, I don't know, you want to have some sort of pretty sunset sky thing. Filter, render, actually this, I've got wrong picture, wrong colors or whatever. So clouds, all right? So you render clouds. And then every time you hit, now you have to hit Control-Alt-F. Every time you hit Control-Alt-F, it'll render it a little bit differently. And you can just kind of land on one you want to keep. Right, like let's do something with more orange in it. Ooh, that's kind of cool, right? So every time you rerun render clouds, it'll just kind of keep cycling and do new, just, you know, it'll randomize it. So then I like to go to filter, sharpen, and unsharp mask, and that's all the way up. Whew, that's at 500. I've got it at 500%, right? We were, well, Carcanus, we were trying to figure out how to do a real quick and dirty method to make like digital camo in Illustrator, and we did kind of like a live trace thing. Actually, we'll live trace this too and see what happens. So you run unsharp mask, and then if you want like some more, like I'll do image adjust levels if you want some more contrast in there. Like you might want, you know, you might want to pump it up a little bit. Actually, I think I might be on the wrong one. So image adjustments, is it curves? Or maybe I just used, maybe it was just legacy, image adjustment, brightness, contrast, use legacy. Yeah, something like that. Okay, then you run filter. What is it, pixelate? Mosaic. And then you can set the cell size. That's 60. You can do 40. I don't know. 60 actually look kind of cool. Like that, right? Actually, you know, when you're doing this part, what helps is look at the size of your document. So image, my image size is 1000 by 1000. Okay, so this should be easier. So filter, pixelate, mosaic. So I want my cell size divisible by 1000. So what is that, 25? Would 25 work? Yeah, I can do 50. So then we know that it's like seamless, right? The tiles are seamless on each side. So we should have, each corner should have a perfect square, right? So then I can take that, Control A, Control C, and I don't know if tracing it will work again, but I mean, that's how you get that type of background style, right? Just for giggles, what happens if we trace this as a low fidelity 3 colors? Didn't work as cool as I wanted it to, but you know, I wish Illustrator on live trace, I wish Illustrator would keep, isn't there a way to do that? If we custom low fidelity photo, I thought there used to be a way, paths, advanced. I thought there was a way to sharpen it. Well, that kind of did sharpen it. I mean, there's a combination of corners, more. We want more corners. More corners, please. What happens with more corners? I don't know. There might be more corners in there. Noise, you can play with noise. I'm not seeing a huge difference. Trying to get just like squares. Control X object, then you select the path, and on the bottom of the tool palette you can choose draw inside, and there you go. Oh, okay. A zodiac? Did you send it to me, soldier? Where? How did I miss it? I'm not seeing it. If you want, can you whisper me the link you had, and then I can bring it up that way. Nice way to create some interesting patterns. Yeah. Hey, John. Good to see you, bud. Video game design with Photoshop. Thank you, CVR. Man, Google has nothing for digicam patterns. Well, I was trying to see. You can see this one area. See how it's like, eh. It'd be really cool to get precise squares. Like there's got to be a method to do it with live trace, with a combination of live trace and Photoshop. I don't know if we bump the noise up all the way. Let's bump it all up to 100. These need to go to 11, and then I'll be super happy. Now, see, it still caught that one. Maybe is there a, where was that? Is there a blur? Let's look. Is there a color change here? No, it's a harsh. It's a sharp break. There's no like blur in between here. Yeah, I always wondered why live trace doesn't capture that part of it. Unless I'm missing something. Which probably missing something. But I was thinking this might be a method to get, you know, a bunch of squares in here quick to do like a digital pattern. Embed your image and go to Object, choose Create Mosaic. Oh, wait, you're talking, who's Mark? Why are you and Travis not streaming together anymore? So Travis, he just got too busy. His work life, and he's expecting another child on the way. So he had to take an extended leave of absence from the stream. So we'll try and get him on as a guest down the road as he can. But he's a very busy fella, so that's why it's for the most part just myself on the block of time. That being said, though, let's bring up the topic of what do you guys want to see on the stream? Because we used to cover a lot of random stuff. I know Travis used to cover UI stuff on Mondays as well, and we haven't really touched that type of stuff. So, oh, John, okay. Why did this not come through? I am missing things on Twitter. That's not good. Because I see you sent it to me, and it's not appearing. That is me. Why am I... Well, that's really weird. Okay. Something, is there a setting on there, John? Okay, I'm gonna bring this up. I don't know why I can't. Yeah, Twitter did some weird stuff. I don't know why that didn't come through. I should have seen that. That's cool. This is what John's working on. I like how you changed it to a 2. The bull looks, it looks clean as mine. It looks really good. I like how you kept the consistency with the line through the eyebrow and the horns. That's a good attention to detail there. Cool. Turned it into the Taurus. Very nice, dude. That looks great. I love the galaxy picture behind it. Very cool. I'm grinning because I'm stoked. It looks good, bud. All right, I'm gonna try to retweet this. Hopefully, it lets me do it. Let's see if it. Okay. Yeah, Twitter. Why are you being mean to me? Come on. Nice job, dude. Craig, you're after my own heart, dude. Saying mandalas, I love doing mandalas. Yep, image tracing can be kind of, it can be hit or miss a little bit for sure. But yeah. FX, all right, get more graphic wizard in here, get John in here. I'd love to get him on here. I think he would be cool. Yeah, we got to get John on here, Mark on here. There's another John in the chat that I'd like to get on here. There's a lot of guests I'd like to get. Actually, Aurelian said she would be interested to hop on and do some art stuff. So I have to catch up with her too. But yeah, all right, back to the image tracing. It got kind of close. There's got to be something else in here that I'm missing. Anyways, okay, well, once you're done with this part, anytime you use live trace, then you have to expand it. And that actually did cleaner. There's some, like if I use this select, yeah, these shapes it's grabbing are like, you know, there isn't as much noise going around as it was in here. Because if you look at in this block, like there's like some in between, you know, there's like a gutter in between a lot of this stuff. So when we did manage to get it sharper for sure. But it's not, unfortunately, it's not super precise squares. But then you could ungroup this. And is digital, let me look at digital camo one more time. Are they overlapping? No, okay, so they do retain to like a grid. That was my other question. Like they don't overlap. Well, maybe they do. I don't know, maybe it depends. You know what I mean? Where like if it's a grid like this, or say this one is slightly, you know, object arrange, bring to front, or it's like, you know, slightly overlapped. You know what I mean? I can't tell if. Also, there's a lot of colors going on in here. We need to bring the color palette down. Well, let's actually choose a color we're going to use and see if we can get this to work. So let's run this again. Let's try like a dark red and just flat black. Filter, render, clouds, and get some. There we go. Filter, pixelate, mosaic. We'll use 50 again, though this is the wrong canvas. Hold on. Image, canvas size. So we can do our maths easier. Yes, I know it's smaller. So filter, pixelate, mosaic, 50. Okay, so that should be right. It almost looks like plaid. Let's bring it back into here. paste it in. So let's go to image trace. Let's try 6 colors. Well, digital camo has what? Like 3? Does. Let's try 3. Let's open the custom palette, customize palette, and we want to go to 3 color. Then we'll blast everything up to 100% again. And I think we had snap curves to lines on as well. They might not be square pixels. Oh. That's close. That actually looks a lot sharper with just 3 colors. Expand. Zoom in so we can line this up. Control Y to flip the outlines. Actually, oh, that one, it got, see, it gets close and then it does like that. Or like that. It's like, it's so close, but then it, one thing. I'm rotating the copies just to vary it up a little bit. Control G. Actually, before I do that, let's just get rid of this one and we'll take a copy of this. Paste it in front. Object clipping mask, make. I'm trying to send it backwards. There we go. That looks kind of cool. Let's see what this looks like just standalone by itself. New. Let's just create a new document. Create. Paste it. Let's align it. And then let's just change the file. Document setup. And you can select simulate papered color or colored paper. I learned this from Travis. Select your color. Okay. Okay. Now this will change the artboard to the color that we want. That's kind of interesting. I think it's really, you know, it's the contrast. So this red might it might actually be a little bit too bright. Select same, fill and stroke. Select this red, but then we will go to hue saturation and just barely bring it up. There, okay, so it should be just a tad darker. It almost looks like plaid though. What if you did the simplify trick to this? Now that you've got it all pixelated, would that maybe eliminate those slight curves and actually points to straightening everything? It wouldn't straighten everything, but it might go the other direction. It might actually start looking like regular camo, which would be worth trying. Control C, Control F. You know, that look, you might be onto something here, soldier. Object. It might get kind of close. Simplify. Whoa, sorta. Maybe we can find a happy medium. Well, I messed up. I got a pattern in the middle. Angle threshold. Ow. That's interesting how this works. Whoa. Okay, I gotta understand how angle threshold is. I think it's because most of our lines are straight. Straight lines. Whoa. Okay, I gotta remember that effect. That might come in handy for something else. That's interesting. Like it did. So wherever it wasn't a straight line, it simplifying it that direction with the with the anchor angle, with the curve angle, that's very weird. Huh. Where is fisheye? That's actually kind of doing it too. Huh, interesting. So we used the warp tool as well, and that kind of, along with simplifying, like what Soldier suggested, we almost got like a mix of like digital and regular camo. It's very weird. It's pretty cool. But yeah, some of this stuff, like I can see. Man, yeah, I can see like uses for it down the road, like for other, like especially like backgrounds for things, you know, like when you're looking for kind of abstract stuff. When we turned on simplified lines, it made almost like a fractal effect, and if you expanded that out, you could easily grab those shapes and dump them into Photoshop, and then apply like you know, some other blend modes and whatnot to them, and you could probably make a pretty cool fractal looking thing. So yeah, so shot for camo and ended up yeah, so it's cool. Turn on grid, snap to grid, paint patches of color and shape. Can you do that in Illustrator? Keyframer, I just know you are it. Yeah, you're late. Good to see you, bud. So we're working on a Medal of Honor influenced, inspired video game patch emblem badge thing, and we ended up with the bull one. You know, did anybody tackle the other one? Did anybody tackle the Spartan one? Curious to see how that might turn out. I'm gonna have to try that, Craig. Cube, I still do. Yes, yep, still do. All the clothing stuff. Yeah. Okay. You know what? I want to do one other thing. I'm gonna go ahead and we'll get rid of these files. Because we could do something, let's do something subtle, something like classy, right? So let's grab, I have some good rock patterns. Let's try dropping a rocky pattern against it. If I can find the folder. Where are you? Stone texture. No, not that one. That wasn't the one I was thinking of. There. Okay. So speaking of the Call of Duty Emblem series, this texture I remember using pretty often. So let's try it again. Man, that already looks pretty cool. It's like that. And then let's do like a vignette type thing. So we can do that by simply adding just a gradient. A gradient fill, and we'll change this one to black, and this will be black as well, but it's going to be 100% transparent. And this one, let's knock it down to, well, actually we can leave it. Hit OK, change this to radial, and we need to reverse it. And then let's up the scale so we get the edges kind of dark. All right, so now with our emblem, let's give this a very slight gradient. Or actually, let's do this a different way. Let's make a new layer. So a new layer in Photoshop, the shortcut is Control Shift N for new layer, and this will be our noise. Okay, and Photoshop's already like giving away my secret here. All right, so let's fill this with 50% gray, which is about there. And I've got the background selected, so I just simply press Control Delete, and that'll fill it. And let's go to Filter, Noise, Add Noise, and let's do, I don't know, maybe 8, 10, do 10. Okay, so now if we just hold Alt in between these layers, we can map it to that layer there. All right, let's go to Image, Adjust, Levels. Okay, Filter, Blur, Motion Blur. Maybe do a negative 45-degree angle. Make it look like brushed metal. Okay. Image, adjust. I think we got to bump the levels up again. Okay, now let's knock the black out a little bit. So we'll double click, and we're going to blend if gray, and we're going to split this. Actually, I think we need, I'm doing this backwards. We need more contrast. Image adjustments, brightness, contrast. Okay, now let's do that. This will give it kind of a brushed metal look. That. There we go. That looks pretty cool. I think that looks pretty gnarly. Right on, John. I'm glad you dig it. All right, we got pretty far. I mean, we got the this one done. And again, I still have this open as a vector file, and I'm thinking, let's move. I love how you can just, if it's already a vector file and you've pasted it in that way, we can do that, Control S, and it will automatically update there. Now, the other interesting thing though is that whenever you have like a light image against a darker background, it always looks thicker than it actually is. Some sort of optical illusion. So I'm actually gonna size it down that. Okay, so now it doesn't look like it looks like there's a little bit of breathing, a little more breathing room. Actually, the star looks awfully close. And the type. Pretty cool. I dig it. I like it. Oh, got it, Swan Meat. I totally forgot about that. Right on. Yep, we got raid time. Woo! All right, before we let that out of the bag though, I want to see, did anybody else post up your Echo? Looks like Timber's been watching Evan Egger's design stream. This looks like his work. Oh. No, that looks way better than what I can do. Oh man. Yeah, it'd take me, I would try to do something like this and I would just get angry and like go stand outside and stare at the sky. Man, Swifty. What is this for? Oh, is this for another the chemicals? Man. See, Swifty does all this in Illustrator. That's really cool. Man, good job. Oh, Venet. Oh yeah, I opened this and meant to look at it. Dessert illustrations, graphic design, illustration, icon design, candy one. Oh, I like the bites taken out of it. Oh, this looks like some yeah, that's some interesting candy. E-cig labels, that's it. Right on. All right, so we got like 2 minutes. We're gonna raid. Okay, so what that means is the show we do here on Tuesday nights, or actually any show that happens from 4 to 7. That's the last show of the Adobe streams for the day, just for the day. We start again at 7 p.m. So before we end it, though, we would like to we raid another creative channel, and that's where we send everybody that's in the chat. We'll hightail it over to the channel that I'm about to paste in the chat, and then everybody jumps in, and Swan Meat here will paste in some code in the chat that we like to copy and take with us, and we start just blasting it in the new chat and the of where we're going. Okay, and it's I love the reactions. They're great when we raid other creative channels. So we're spreading the love to other creative channels, and we're gonna do that. So without further ado, all right, Swami just posted the raid code. I'm gonna post the this is the channel we're gonna be going to, and again, we'll go there right in like 1 minute. So before we head out though, I want to thank all you guys for tuning in. I will be here again next Tuesday. Please come over and talk to me on Twitter and stuff like that, and tell me what you guys would like to see on these shows. We'd like to just get into some new stuff, and I want to make sure that I'm covering stuff that you guys are interested in and that we're having some fun. So thanks again for tuning in, and yeah, we'll see you next Tuesday, same time, 4 p.m. Pacific. Go for 3 hours, make some cool stuff, and again, thank you all for stopping by. I enjoy it. Love seeing you. Love seeing your faces. And all right, we will catch you later. And let's go over and raid this other creative stream. Later all.